It's been 1,703 days since the murderer committed the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. And if this was not the most perfect death penalty case, then why do we have the death penalty at all? There's no doubt about the fact that the verdict should have been the death penalty. I believe that our state's attorneys, all of them, all of our state's attorneys, whether it be Mr. Sachs, whether it be Carolyn McCann, whether it be Jeff Marcus, Nicole, Stephen, Aaron, we could have not had a more perfect state's attorney group. No way. Mr. Sachs told me when we first learned that he was taking this case on, he said to me, I promise you that this will not just be another mass shooting. By the time we're finished with this case, every single person who was murdered, people will know who they are. They will not just be a name, but people will know exactly who they are, will know a face, and will know everything about them. And that's exactly what he did. You talk about being disappointed. We are all disappointed, all of us, because they could not have done a better job. They could not have proven their case any better than they did. We all know their case was proven. But again, we have jurors, and there's no doubt in my mind that somewhere along when they chose their jury, they had to be told, I'm pretty sure, that they would consider the death penalty. Somewhere along the line, one of those jurors had to have said, I know he committed these crimes, I know he deserves to be punished, but I can't be the one to put someone to death. And that is the only way that we did not get the death penalty. My son was murdered along with 16 other people, and this animal, still is going to now have life in prison without parole. And let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, he's probably going to get taken out sooner than later if he did get the death penalty. Because we know that a death penalty case, I believe in Florida, takes a lot longer. I think it's somewhere, the average is somewhere close to 18 years, I'd certainly be dead and buried before he would be. So as far as I'm concerned, the fact that he's going to go into some sort of general population, he's going to have to look over his shoulder every minute of the rest of his life. Just the way the fear in him, I hope he has the fear in him every second of his life, just the way he gave that fear to every one of our loved ones who he murdered or the students and people that he harmed. He should live in that fear, and he should be afraid every second of the day of his life.
Just to add, about fear, this is what my son saw. He saw the gunman as he turned and pulled the trigger. This is what the jury didn't think was worth capital punishment. Answer me why, how, that my son be shot by this animal like this. People need to see this. This is real. This is not a game. This is not a video. This is not a TV or a movie. This is real. The last thing my son saw was the gunman aiming at him.
And let me tell you something. We're not going to stop. I'm going to tell every single person here, we will never stop fighting. We are never going to stop fighting so that these animals can't go into, whether it's schools, movie theaters, places of worship, you name it. We're going to fight with them so we don't have to keep looking over our shoulder and wondering when we send our kids to school or our loved ones go to work at school or go to work anywhere, that we could possibly never speak to them again. We're going to continue to fight, and we're going to make sure that AR-15 and those assault weapons that killed our loved ones are taken off the streets. And that's what we are going to continue to do. Because this should not happen to anyone else. This should never happen. We should not have to worry about, even ourselves, walking around the streets that somebody's going to murder us with a gun that they illegally own or illegally own and have gone off the deep end somewhere and decided that they're going to take their anger out on someone else.